Innovation Lab at DevOps Belgium 2024, and Leif is my next guest.
Hi!
Hello and welcome. I guess by the t-shirt, Vadim,
yes,
we are going to talk about something front-end related.
Well, full stack related actually.
Full stack related.
Yep.
What does it even mean in 2024?
I mean, it means the same as always. It means you build one application, not two applications, not a front-end application and back-end application, but you build one application with the front-end and the back-end.
It means that I need to know both Java for the backend and JavaScript for the frontend.
Not necessarily. I mean, there's many takes here. Your team needs
full stack developer, but my
Yep, that's one way. The other is you use Vaadin and then you just use Java for the front end.
Interesting. So this is an interesting thing because I don't want to learn JavaScript.
Yeah, some do, some don't.
But also, frankly, all the efforts of doing server-side rendering were not exactly astonishing success.
I would say the pendulum is going back and forth. So like 15 years ago, everyone was doing server-side rendering. It was called PHP or Ruby on Rails or something. And then we got these React Angular frameworks, and then it was swinging very much in one direction. And then people now, past 2-3 years, have started realizing that, maybe we don't need all this overhead.
So this is a trend that I might be a little bit behind of, because in my mind we are still in this very much area that, hey, we do very complex UIs on the client side,
yep,
which we cannot really do properly with server-side rendering.
Yeah, I mean, you don't even have to do server-side rendering to do full stack. You can also, just put an open API generator in it, put everything in the same Git repository, and then you have, again, you need to have the team with both React and Java developers. But it's still, there's many different ways of doing full stack development. The main thing is just avoid the handovers, because that's where productivity dies.
Okay, that makes sense. And the handovers, you mean not necessarily technically handovers of data going from back to
no, I mean kind of backlogs.
Team
exactly.
Handovers.
Yes,
so
hangovers.
What you say is don't have a front-end team, basically.
Yeah, you have a full stack team.
And then you have front-end developers in it.
You have front-end developers or server-side rendering developers, depending on, again, what kind of application you build and so on.
And if we're going this server-side rendering route, maybe Vaadin, maybe whatever XML, what it's called, like the latest thing.
Yeah, I would say
DX something.
I don't know what that is. I would say the biggest example is Next.js, so that's also JavaScript on the server.
Yeah.
But it's huge.
Yeah.
So that's one example, and then HTMX is also an example.
This HTMX.
Yep.
Right. So let's say if I do Vaadin or HTMX, I still need to know something about frontend.
You need to know something. I mean, you need to know something about UIs, I would say.
Yes. Okay. So how deep do I need to go to this rabbit hole of HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and all that?
It depends. I mean, especially if you work in a bigger organization, there's probably some architect who knows all this. He has set up all the patterns, he or she has set up all the patterns, so you basically follow that pattern, and then you build yet another view with different kind of data about the same UI pattern. So in that case, you need to know very little.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. And then someone who is proficient with UI and UX and design, they will work on all those components, CSS that comes with them, all the transitions and all this kind of stuff.
And I mean, just like kind of for just back-end development, you also have one guy on your team is maybe more of a SQL expert. Another guy is more kind of into, I don't know, caching and so on. And it's just a slightly bigger team with slightly more things that you have at least one expert in that area.
So this is the empower teams that we keep talking about. They also include the ops people,
Exactly.
and product people, and security people. So just having someone who understands UI
Yeah,
and CSS and maybe some JavaScript,
maybe.
that should be enough. And if I want to do full reach client, then it's actually the same. It's just it will be more JavaScript frameworks,
Yeah.
and then the communication will be not in some under the hood transparent protocol that frameworks like Vaadin do, but something is very declarative like open APIs.
Yeah, I mean, again, the most important thing I would say is still have a single team. I keep repeating it because it's so fundamental. Because, yeah, it's just that. Then how you do it exactly, do you use server-side rendering or not, I don't care. I just want to let people to understand, have a single team. Slice by functionality, not by architecture layer. That's the main thing.
I love it. It's very much related to developer productivity.
Yep.
In a pre-production lab, that's been the theme of the thing. Not only of the day. And Leif, thank you very much.
Thank you.
That was very, very insightful.
Yep.
And the folks have empowered teams instead of silos.
Yep.
Excellent. Thank you again.
Thank you.
You folks stay tuned for more episodes of the Builder Production Lab at DevOps Belgium 2024.